What you are about to see is a discussion video based on the information and knowledge of the current reaction done by ArchitectCobra. Theories and ideas said in this video may be 100% wrong and may be guesses. For those of you who are lore Lances and wish to ruin the show for ArchitectCobra for giving him information that you would only get from future episodes that he has not gotten to yet, then I suggest you turn this video off now. This is not the video for you. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 11 of Fairy Tale Discussions. Joining me today, we have Obay the Savior and Tommy JayTV. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So we would have had more, but things fell through and people had to go and everything, so... but it should be fine nevertheless. So, yeah, this is going to be talking about episode 188 through 190, the recent reaction I did on Friday. So let's get started, shall we? One of the big things that I really wanted to see a lot was the Gajeel Iron Shadow Dragon form. That was very, very cool to see. Him just kind of wipe the floor with Rogue. And just like ultimately just dominate him. We got to see go ahead.
I was gonna say my favorite part is like there was a lot of epic moments in that fight, but just my favorite part was both of them going like as shadows and them like fighting as shadows. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, that was a very, very cool moment. I love when like when Natsu does like eats another person's like magic, you sort of gain their abilities and stuff, which is kind of weird in a sense because like you don't have the training for their magic, but all of a sudden you just gain the abilities to do it. Like it's sort of weird, but it's cool nevertheless. It's like it's really, really cool. And
it kind of makes you think that like, can they take more than just 2 attributes like at a time?
Yeah.
Like, can they do 3 elements at the same time? Like that'd be really cool to find out.
The weird thing about Gajeel's Iron Shadow Dragon Roar is that instead of like it's iron, it's more of light than iron.
Yeah, that was
Which when I first watched
that was strange.
It sort of confused me.
Yeah, it did for me too. It was like a little out of place. It's like, why is it light? You know, like why is it like the heart of the sun, like burning through the sky? Yeah, his just iron roar is like a gray kind of metal shroud. Like it's sort of like if you just have like a puff of like metal shards. That's pretty much what his magic his iron roar is. So yeah, it's kind of weird seeing the blinding light that he came through. But I mean, like you could say that the shadow magic kind of buffed his iron roar to begin with, so it like changed it and everything. So, but it was cool. It was awesome. Very powerful magic.
That roar was, I wouldn't say it was as big as Natsu's lightning flame roar.
When he first got
it was still pretty big.
Yeah. The shade that took over Rogue, I really want to know more about that because that's really interesting. Like how because Rogue didn't know the shade was there. It's like it just happens to be around him at all times or something like that, or like I don't know. It's they don't talk about it at all. So it's like
he didn't even remember the fight afterwards either.
Yeah, the shade took over his body or whatever to use in the fight, which then he lost.
Very weird.
So yeah, I love the moment where they were in this shadow versus shadow mode, where like they're both like hitting each other and everything, and like going around corners and everything in the shade, and in the shadows. And everyone's going like, "Who's who?" Like they're like everyone's trying to just like find out who's who. That was really, really funny.
And then I like how Bixlow could even tell which was which.
Yeah.
Like I think Gajeel's the faster one, probably.
And he did like kind of, put his hand out of the shadow and then grab Rogue from from his shadow.
That was awesome, dude. I love that part.
Which I'm trying to figure out, like, Gajeel has had the power for like a while now. to grab like Rogue. Like, how is Gajeel so different? Like, how is like because he's this iron element. So how does iron kind of affect shadow in that way where Gajeel can just rip him out of a shadow? Like it's for that I understand the shadow versus shadow because he was shadow himself.
Yeah.
But there are other moments in the fights and stuff that we've seen previously where Gajeel just totally like grabs Rogue, like even though he's in shadow mode. And it's like it's very interesting, and I'd like to know more about that. Like, why does Gajeel have the power to do that, but no one else does, kind of thing. Well, that we've seen. Maybe other people do, but yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, when the Shade left Rogue though, it was really interesting. He abandoned Rogue pretty much, and he went off to do something else. The Shade did. So he might come back in a later episode. It's like whenever some kind of like big baddie like the Shade comes to play, and then they just leave, they're guaranteed to come back later on. Like like a powerful like endgame boss just comes back later on. Also, Mavis.
Was it?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, about Mavis. Was she the only one that actually noticed the Shade there?
Mavis noted. She said she's never seen that magic before. The like Shade magic. Which I guess she's referring to when the Shade kind of powered up Rogue. Almost as if Rogue was in his
Dragon Force.
Either Dragon Force or Dragon Drive. There you go. Rogue almost looked like he was in that mode. So, but like a little different, I guess. So I think Mavis was maybe noting that, like that kind of mode he was in. Maybe they could have heard the conversation that was going on and everything. I mean, we sort of knew. Oh, that's possible that they did because Frosh or Frog or whatever his name is, he like left to go find Rogue, and kind of like help him because he was like hurting and all that stuff when the Shade was taking over him. So all in all, it was a very very cool fight. But I would have liked to see a lot more of Gajeel's combo attacks. The shadow, iron shadow attacks and stuff. Because we've seen the roar and what else did we see anything else? He did win shadow form.
No, I think that's it.
That's the only combo. Okay. Yeah, I would have loved to see more combos. Certain things, like normal things that he does in just normal iron mode. Or not iron mode, but iron dragon magic. Stuff like his like turning his hand into iron, but like maybe seeing him do that, but the blade is not just iron; it's like a shadow iron kind of looking thing. And then it would have been cool to see my kind of theory on his kind of shadow coming off of him, the iron shadow. It's like a shadow with like a glint of like iron to it. I would have loved to see that actually like be able to get used, like actually cut Rogue or about that, or like something like that, like some like his shadow's like actual iron. It would have been cool to see something like that. But yeah, it was a cool fight. Rogue got wrecked. Even Shade Rogue got wrecked even more.
I like how like. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like I wonder what it would look like if Gajeel used his Iron Club while in his Iron Shadow Dragon mode. Would it just be his Iron Club with shadows around it, or would it just be something entirely different?
He wait, I know he did some attack. He turned his hand to a blade or something, didn't he? I think like sword.
Well, the episode right before he changes into Iron Shadow Dragon mode, he like hit Rogue with like a barrage of like clubs to the face. Like, do you remember that? It was just like club after club, like straight in his face.
But yeah, it was a really cool fight. And then that kind of like heart-warming moment of Frosh getting there and like talking with Rogue and everything was pretty cool. I
think Frosh is my favorite X-Seed.
I love how I love how every time he walks, he has like a little like tweet or like like a sound effect to it.
It's so cute. So cute.
Yeah, he's growing on me. He's he's starting to become like one of those cool characters.
Yeah.
I want to know why he's on like a frog outfit. It's so strange. Anyways, so we'll skip ahead towards. We're gonna be skipping through the episodes and everything. So forgive me for doing that, but we're just gonna talk about a couple things here and there. One thing I want to touch on was the Hungry Wolf Knights coming back. It's very strange they came back. Like
Why?
they were beaten almost to like death, or not death, but I mean they were beaten in the crypts, and then all of a sudden they just show up again. It was very weird. But the versing, like people versus the person, the combos of people, that was very interesting. Natsu versus the fish guy, which they were pretty on par. Like Natsu kept shooting stuff at him, and then the fish guy did the ice thing or whatever to stop it. And then the funny part was the fish guy doing the heat wave towards Natsu, and he just like walks it off like nothing. That was really funny as well. Wendy versus the acid guy. That was a cool moment actually for Wendy. Actually holding her own against the acid guy was very, very cool. Like cutting the acid with her wing attacks and stuff. It was very, very cool.
Lily versus that sword guy or whatever,
the Grim
was
Reaper.
Actually pretty good.
Or the Reaper. I can't remember what they called it.
Scythe, I think.
Scythe, there we go. Yeah, so Lily versus Scythe. Which it's interesting. I thought Natsu broke one of Scythe's weapons before he was defeated in the crypts. Natsu
he cracked it.
He grabbed one of his scythe, and then he cracked it, or something like that, and then he threw him through the wall. So, but the weapon that Scythe had versus Lily didn't have any cracks or wasn't broken at all. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
How did he repair it?
Yeah, I forgot about that because anything involving the Hungry Wolf Knights, I try to forget about. So.
But what was interesting was Lucy versus the paper confetti girl. When that girl showed up, she said the demon isn't with them. Like she's all happy. Like she's all so happy that Mira isn't there to face her again or whatever. But yeah, I actually wanted to see in this episode. I mean, we can't now, but future Lucy, if she had her keys at all still, that would have been really interesting to know.
I wonder how that would have worked, having the celestial spirits from the future and in the past at the same time. Could they have been summoned? So
there's two ideas that come to mind right at the bat when you say that. One is the celestial worlds. We know that the time moves differently, so maybe it's possible to have two versions of a celestial spirit, in two different time zones or two time frames or whatever. The second thing that comes to mind is she'll just summon, the current celestial spirit, and then Lucy can summon. Both Lucys can summon two different spirits on their own terms. So I gotta go to D&D mode. Okay. Sorry. I just had someone calling me. So I think our Lucy summoning Taurus, and then future Lucy summoning Aquarius, that kind of thing. That might happen. And if they're both the same power, which I'm pretty sure they are, they can summon up to 4, two each, and then that would have been really cool. But yeah, I wonder what happened to the keys, or why she didn't use them at all, because she was in some of the fights, in the back, she wasn't in the fights, but she was there. And then yes, for those of you wondering, people have told me that the future Lucy did lose an arm somehow. No one knows. It was in the manga. Manga showed a little bit of it. The subbed version talks a little, mentions it once, And then the dub never mentions the arm. So like that's like the last moment, like, or the only moment they ever reference her arm. So the dub missed that. So I apologize for everyone thinking like that I missed something, or like whatever. I know now. It's very, very sad, and I would have liked to know what happened to her. And also, we don't know how far in the future she got to before she came back. Because just on the side little thing, Future Rogue said 7 years he was in the future, and then he came back. So I wonder how far Lucy went. Like, is she 7 years too, or is she like a couple years, like right after, or whatever? I'm not sure. Would have liked to know that as well. So one more thing about the matchups really funny was Loki versus Cosmos. Loki constantly trying to hook up with Cosmos was really funny.
Classic Loki.
Yeah. That moment, every time he squeezed in and put his arm around her and he's like, oh, let's go, let's go do this. And Cosmos is like, take the hint, putting her hand on his face, whatever. That was really funny.
Yeah, she's more into Wendy.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then I just want to touch on this briefly as well. Future Rogue just taking them out instantly with Shadow Magic. Which is very interesting, and I wonder if they are dead or they just teleported somewhere. I don't know. I don't think it would kill them.
I don't know.
I don't know, because his shadows transport is for him, for Rogue is transport. So I would think they would all melt into the shadow, and then when the shadow reverted back into the darkness, that was them traveling with the shadow, and then they got kind of flung somewhere else. I would think. I don't know. We never got a confirmation if they're still alive or they're cool or dead or something. I don't know. It was very dramatic though. They were sinking in the ground.
Yeah, you have to imagine that he's very, very powerful to be able to suck in all the amount of people that were there.
Yeah.
He has to be very powerful to be able to do that.
Especially from the future that he's come from.
Yeah.
Fighting dragons and all that stuff from his future. Yeah, he's totally in 7 years, that number again is showing up. I know the creator, the writer or whatever, likes that number a lot. But it's interesting that it's popping up again. But yeah, so yeah, he's 7 years in the future. He's been fighting dragons this whole time, probably. And yeah, he's hardcore powerful. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up next. I have no idea what to expect from what's gonna come up next between him and Natsu. Natsu does seem like he wants to fight, so that's probably what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, he is pissed off.
Yeah. Full on. Another thing I want to touch on real quick is Gray versus Juvia, or Gray and Juvia versus Leon and Shelia. Not versus Juvia. Gray Juvia versus Leon and Shelia. It was very quick, the fight, that we saw. Yeah. It was Leon and Shelia were fighting and talking back and forth and everything like that, and then Gray and Juvia were just we got this. We know their weakness, and then they did their attack. I was full on hoping they would do a unison raid to attack them full on with very, 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 very strong magic. But I guess
it's weird because they basically kind of did do a unison raid, but they didn't say it.
Right.
But they still combined their attacks. So I don't know. I mean, it was kind of weird.
It could be a unison raid just by itself. I don't think they have to say unison raid, whatever. I guess it's just it's always I mean, the last time they did the unison raid was in that one kind of filler episode with the dragon. And they had on top of the castle they did the unison raid, and Juvia threw up all the water from the the rivers in the entire town, and then Gray turned into ice. So I mean, when I think of unison raid, I think of huge a spell, a huge spell taking place, on a massive scale, not just in dragon slaying terms, like a breath attack, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What Rogan and Sting did, like that unison raid, like that kind of powerful kind of stuff. Yeah.
And then the one when they fought Master Hades from Grimoire Heart, it was like Scorpio threw like a sand tornado, and then Wendy did a Sky Dragon roar, and Natsu was like in the middle of it, and that was unison raid too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, for the Phantom Lords?
No, it was the Tenro Island arc. Yeah, when they fought the Master of Grimoire Heart.
Oh, Grimoire Heart. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I don't remember that, but I vaguely remember that. it's I don't know. Wouldn't the Tenro Island arc at the very end when they were fighting Acnologia, wouldn't all of them combining powers also be a unison raid, in a way?
Yeah.
Because everyone had like a beam attack, combined into one.
Literally everyone in the guild. Everyone in the guild.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. But like I said, the battle was very short versus Gray and Juvia versus Leon and Shelia. And Shelia's face when they were doing it too. She's all starstruck when that happened. And Leon's trying to like shake her out of it. He's like, yeah, come on. Also, that was weird too. He said, "Heal me." He wasn't damaged at all. He's like, "Come on, Shelia, heal me." It's like, but you're
weird.
Fully healed.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed because I wanted to see more from Shelia, just because she's a god slayer, and the fight that she had with Wendy was really good. So I was kind of expecting her to, have a pretty good fight again. But it's whatever.
The show liked to put Shelia and Juvia kind of like fighting each other, which is really interesting. Yeah. It's like a 4-way like love square there going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
she likes Leon now.
Gray doesn't care either way, of anything. Shelia wants Leon. Leon wants Juvia. Juvia wants Gray. So it's like it's so weird.
Yeah. It would have been more complicated if Gray actually liked Shelia.
Yeah. Then that would be a full triangle there. Yeah. So after that, we saw a very short, or not short, but very limited battle versus Jura, Loxus, and Olga. I would have loved to see a lot more with Olga, not just one punch, one shot it out of an epic kind of thing. We've seen little bits of Olga here and there fighting and doing his lightning attacks and stuff, but we've never seen his full power or what he's capable of. Can he teleport like Loxus can? Who knows? He got one shot it out of the game, so we don't know.
The world may never know.
Yeah. But it was very, very cool to see almost the exact same thing that happened to Olga, that one hit kind of moment, down to the ground from Jura.
Yeah.
And Loxus just getting up from that and shaking it off like nothing. It was that proves that Loxus is 10 times better than Olga in every way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, it was very short. I would have liked to see a lot more.
I wish it was longer too.
Yeah, we did see a lot of Loxus and Jura punching each other and doing abilities. And stuff.
Which was kind of refreshing for me because, like I've said before, I haven't seen this arc in a while, so I actually did not remember that they actually went hand to hand for a little bit. So it was kind of nice to see that.
Also, there's a couple moments where I thought was a little weird, where Loxus was shooting lightning at Jura. Lightning, you're right. And Jura's doing his ground magic to put up a rock wall in front of it to block the lightning. It's lightning. It should be instantaneous. Shooting straight at Jura with no problems. But that's just a little thing that I found weird.
Yeah.
Also, Loxus should have did a lot more teleporting with his ability as well, because he seems to do that a lot. He did that with Jura too. He jumped off his rocks while Jura was trying to hit him and everything.
Yeah. Oh, and it was also said, in that, pretty sure it was during the fight, that Jura is rank 5, I believe, among the 10 Wizard Saints.
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually got a number.
And then Lamia Scale. maybe Scales Master said that the top 4 council members are even human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's a pretty big hype right there.
It is. We saw some silhouettes there. I didn't recognize any of them. None of them seemed like we've never met any of them before. So it's gonna be really interesting if we are gonna meet them. I hope we do. It would be a really dick move if they showed us that and never show the characters. But yeah, he's like he's of the top 5, and he's like the strongest, or quotation marks strongest human in the world pretty much. But I mean, Loxus defeated him. So but Loxus is like half Dragon Slayer in a way. So I guess you can consider him not human.
That's kind of crazy to think about that, like Jura, like how strong Jura is, and that apparently that there's 4 more that are like even stronger than him.
See, I wonder. Great. So Makarov was not in that top 5. Neither was Jalal, which I'm sure by this point Jalal is like disowned and like not part of the Wizard Saints. Yeah. Also, the Phantom Lord Master, he was apparently one of them as well, but he's probably disowned as well. Maybe Makarov is disowned as well because he like was gone for so long. Maybe, I don't know, but like Jura seemed like pretty. Like when they came back from the island, when Lamia Scale came to visit, Jura and Makarov talked, and he said you should join, or come visit like the thing. We have much to talk about, or something like that. So I mean, probably Makarov is still one of the Wizard Saints. I would think. And then the next thing is the Erza versus Minerva fight. That was interesting. Very interesting. And, like, very fan servicey. Like, all the way through. There was a little bit of fighting with normal Erza and normal Minerva. She, like, tossing her explosive magic out, or spatial magic. To, like, those bombs, whatever, she's, like, teleporting around. Erza dodging them, getting hit by a few of them, and then getting hit by a lot of them. And then, Minerva seemed to be beating her, like, full on. And then, out of nowhere, Erza activating her second origin, which I don't know why, I shouldn't say don't know why. I didn't know you had to activate it. Like, I thought it was always activated.
I thought it was just automatic.
Yeah, it's like adding a bigger container for your magic. That's what I thought, but apparently you have to activate it like Erza did. So
then did Natsu do it in the middle when he was fighting against Rogue and Sting? When he said that, I guess I'll have to use my power too for my friends you laughed at. Maybe. Was that when he activated his second origin?
I feel like he would have said it though.
Yeah, I feel like I was almost as Erza. I almost feel Natsu, just by himself, has the power. Like they said in the episodes that he was fighting, he gets his strength from his competitors. So like he just gets stronger by their strength. So when they get stronger, Natsu gets stronger, kind of thing. He wants to beat them and all that stuff. So I feel like that's just like his normal nature that we saw there. I don't think his second origin was activated. I don't know. It's so like it's so vague at this point. Like, do they have to activate it? Do they always have it activated? Like, who knows? Or maybe Erza like wanted it to be an active thing. Like she can activate it at will. Maybe she didn't want it to be always activated.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Call upon it. Go ahead.
I wonder what would have happened if Erza would have activated second origin at the beginning of the fight.
It'll be a short fight, that's for sure. It's like at the moment, like Erza, Minerva, and Kagura. There you go. Yeah. When all of them met, like the moment they all like had like the Mexican standoff, like all three of them, and like Erza just like second origin, like turns out, like activates her like Megagami armor, and just like just slash done. She wins. Like, yeah, that would be like, that'll be an ultimate like fu to the fans. Like, oh, you won't see this fight. It's too good. But Erza's got second origin activated. Yeah.
Well, since she didn't activate second origin, at least we get some backstory on Kagura now. Woohoo!
Yeah. That's a pretty cool backstory. And a little bit from Erza too, because she saved Kagura.
So how did you guys feel like overall about Minerva's character? Because like to me, she's like the character that you hate, but I think that's what makes her good, because she's a good villain because of that. Because you hate her so much and you just want her to die.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's what she is. Yeah. She's definitely like that person that like just wants to torment her enemies as she's fighting them. Showing what she did to Miliana, and everything, just to get under your skin kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I can definitely see that, like, bad guy just to be a bad guy kind of thing. And her, like, doing that with Sting's cat. I forget his name.
Lecter.
Yeah.
It's doing that, like, protecting him, but at the same time holding him hostage to, like, make Sting do what she needs kind of stuff. Yeah. She's an interesting character, and I hate her. So yeah, about Erza's armor that she put on. First of all, full fan service, like 100% fan service, like for real, because her nipples should have been showing on her body at some point. Like, there's no physical way. Like the amount of boob hanging out, you should have seen something, but apparently it was hiding it. But with what Levy was talking about, she said, if anyone were to wear this armor, they will become a force without equal and conquer all that stand against them. So basically, nothing can beat this armor. Like, it's like, but I wonder if there's any kind of limitations to it. Like, can she only do it a few times? Does she only do something at some point?
I kind of wish that there was like some kind of repercussion to her using that armor. Like, what if she lost like a little bit of magic power? I don't know. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Levy did say that whoever wore the armor like had a whole bunch of magic power depleted from them.
That must have been the first bit that I forgot about. I wrote down the second. So I wrote down the last bit of her explaining the armor. I didn't write down the first part because I forgot about it. It's a really cool armor. And it'll be interesting to see when she uses it again, like against Wynn, like kind of stuff. If the dragons are attacking, definitely use his armor against them. Like full on. If dragons are attacking, if Erza's up against like 3 dragons, then definitely go this armor and just wreck them.
Yeah, like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for her not to use that armor.
Yeah. Force without equal. Like, you're a god in the armor. So
basically.
But yeah, so then we had like a one-hit KO fan service hit moment with Erza attacking Minerva, like shredding Minerva's clothes, and you can see her underwear and everything. It's interesting, her armor and all that stuff. Moving on. Sting versus Fairy Tail. That was an interesting moment. Sting waiting through the entire game pretty much. He defeated Bacchus from the sky, from space, an orbital drop. And then after that, he went dark. He went to go hide somewhere. It was very interesting to see him actually come back now. I like how he shot off a firework with Sabretooth's emblem on it to like kind of draw all of Fairy Tail to him. And it would have worked too if he didn't
hesitate.
Yeah, didn't hesitate and didn't I don't know. It felt like he gave up because he can see like the hope still in their eyes. Like, even though they were beaten and bruised and like near death. Well, not near death, but like near defeat, pretty much. Like Sting said it, you can just breathe on them, like blow on them, and they'll be a full fall. But even then, they were all standing side by side, ready to fight. Still, they had that burning
desire.
There's like desire to win in their heart, and Sting kind of saw that, and that was.
It was a really cool shot of like all of them standing there, and like the music playing was all really good too.
I can't wait to listen to the soundtrack. I've been putting it off because a lot of the soundtrack songs that I have downloaded, that Dark Wolf has told me, they kind of hint a little bit at events. So I've been avoiding the soundtrack until I have the okay to like watch it or listen to it, whatever. I think it's a theme song, the new theme song that I really like a lot.
So
I can't wait to like listen to that and like other things too. There's a lot of really good songs.
The thing about it is that like they always play the theme song at the like most hype moments. Like they just always know the right time to play that song. It's so good.
I think that was the theme song where they played when they were showing all Team Fairy Tail like in a line ready to fight Sting, right? That was the theme song, or was that a different song?
I think that's the sad version, like the piano version.
Or the hopeful one, Because
Yeah.
they always have like 4 versions of the theme song. They have the normal theme song.
Yeah.
They have the hopeful theme song. They have the sad theme song, and then they have the super sad one with like just piano.
Yeah.
Like the slow like, like it'll be really cool to see or listen to the soundtrack and see all the different. Because I'm sure I've missed a bunch of songs. Like just from missing it, I guess. But yeah,
you know the guy who does the music for Fairy Tail also does the music for Log Horizon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. So about the whole Sting versus Fairy Tail thing, I just really wish that he at least tried to like fight them, like.
Because I full on thought by like the kind of prophecy that we've been like they've been hinting out constantly through the whole episode, the whole like volume for the far, or I guess it is volume, right? I think they call it volume. Up till now, Fairy Tail 2014, up till now, they've been hinting at it just forever. That the prophecy is something, is something shocking is going to happen pretty much at the end of the games. And then, if it's true, then they'll start doing the Eclipse Gate. I full on thought from the hype that people were in the stands, the actual like citizens, like counting how many numbers Sting can go if he actually wins. He's like, he's 1 point above. He can win it all, like kind of stuff like that. Like,
it was a good plan. It was a good plan on his part.
Yeah, it was definitely a good plan. It was very like hype. It was like all through the whole thing. They were just hyping it up. Sting might win. He might bring it back, kind of thing. But yeah, he just
gave up.
He gave up, and apparently that was like the moment that now we know now is Rogue described as Fairy Tail winning the games. So yeah, I can't wait to see what the world thinks of Fairy Tail now that they won, and not like the constant losers they have been through the 7 years, like losing at every game. I think they said they've always got last, right?
Yeah. I think so.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what the world thinks now. Maybe go back to normal kind of stuff, like Fairy Tail the best, like a bunch of fans, throwing up.
All those citizens are bandwagons.
Yeah, basically. Definitely. Full on. Just jump on the hype
audience members
train.
are just like crazy people. They're like, at first they're booing Fairy Tail, and then at the end they're cheering for Fairy Tail. Like, make up your mind.
Even when they first started to win a little bit, there's a couple scenes where the citizens were like, "Oh, I like Fairy Tail. They got spunk. Oh, I'll start rooting for them. Yeah, you got my vote. Yeah." It's just so random. All right, so let me get to the last thing I want to talk about. This is going to take a long while. So get seated. We now know that there was a second person to arrive from the future, that has been here all along, even since way past since Lucy arrived. Lucy arrived, I think they said, at like midnight-ish of day 3, so of day 4 pretty much. And that's what I think that's what Jalal said.
Yeah.
So Rogue's been here for we don't know how long, but he's been here for quite a while, and he told the princess the prophecy and how the gate works and everything, and how they can change it and turn it into a weapon. Just reading some of my notes real quick. Yeah, blah blah. Okay, yeah. Rogue's goal was to come back and defeat Lucy, who in his time closed the gate, either before or after the gate was being used on the dragons. But at the same time, it's weird. He said multiple times that she closed the gate, but at another time he says it never opened. So I don't know. It's he said multiple times she closed the gate. She's gonna close the gate. It's a constant variable. It always happens. And then a moment later, he says the gate never opened, and I'm like, what? I had to like rewatch it a couple times just to make sure. And yeah, he says that. He says like the gate never opened or something like that, never activated.
Wow. Okay.
So it's very interesting, and I don't know what to think about that. Anyways.
Yeah.
My big theory on the whole thing, about the future Rogue and future Lucy and all that stuff. Okay, so future Lucy and future Rogue never knew both were there. They both were there. Like, Rogue never knew future Lucy was there, and future Lucy never knew that future Rogue was there. So they were both in the dark about that.
Yeah.
Which doesn't add up, because they both talk about different events taking place. Rogue talks about Lucy closing the gate, like I said, but future Lucy doesn't know anything about that. It's just really odd. It's like, are there two different futures or that kind of thing? If there are two different futures, this is my big theory right now. Okay, this is my theory drops. Okay, so future Lucy came back, and Rogue comes back from a future they created from her being there. So to make that more sense, okay, so normal future. Like, just straight up normal future without Lucy or Rogue in it. Dragons attack, everyone dies. Lucy goes back in time to save it. Her traveling back in time changes events, makes a new future. So second future. Okay, so we're on second future. So this is where Lucy comes back and helps Fairy Tale. So the dragons attack, everyone dies. Rogue goes back 7 years later, or whatever, to save it. Him traveling back in time changes the events to make a new future, third future. So the show is in third future right now, or the third present, or what we're gonna call it, like the third timeline. It's the time we're in now. So Rogue being there in the show proves that he's not the first to travel back in time. Otherwise, Lucy would have been killed by him. Like past Lucy, current Lucy or whatever. If Rogue was the first one to travel back, future Lucy wouldn't have been a thing because she would have died. So Rogue is definitely the second one to come back. So right now we have. I wrote all this down like a paragraph to like remind myself, because I was like thinking about it. So right now we are in this third future here. Well, we don't know what will happen, because they came from futures that are now changed by them being here and changing events. Like, I'm sure Rogue telling the princess about the second gate and how to activate it and everything definitely changes the future, 100%. Also telling her the outcome of the games, all that kind of stuff. Lucy, future Lucy, changing the past, or changing the present or whatever, making Team Natsu go the opposite way they needed to go, kind of thing. Because in their future, they get caught. I think she said they go to the eclipse. They go to the eclipse. They get their power drained or something like that, so they're able to get captured again. and then the dragons attack and the castles get destroyed. So right now, okay, hold on. So right now we are in this third feature. We don't know what happened. People keep changing crap, messing up the feature. That's what I wrote. Which, to be fair, does suck because dragons. You do want to change the timeline because dragons are gonna come anyways. So Rogue talked about the future. In his future, the gate wasn't powerful enough, which is weird. It's super, super weird. Okay, so this is my kind of side theory as well with it. The gate wasn't as powerful as the one from this future, the one that we're in, or second future. I don't know which future, whatever. Anyways, so what I'm thinking is, since future Lucy came back in time, she changed events to make Team Natsu not go where they were supposed to go. So they never got to the Eclipse Gate, they never got their powers siphoned, that sort of thing. Which maybe it may be the cause of why Rogue said it's not as powerful, because they never got that power drain. But at the same time, I don't think the entirety of Team Natsu has enough power to supercharge the gate in any way. Because they've been hoarding magic over the years, so I don't think
it wouldn't make that much of a difference. I don't think.
And he said something along the lines of your gate has a fraction of what our gate has. Oh, but I have the quote here. Okay, so in the dubbed version, he says, "Our eclipse has but a fraction of the power yours can wield." But in the subbed version, he says, "Eclipse isn't nearly as powerful as it is now." So, there's two different versions there, but sub-dub, whatever. But they both say the exact same thing, that Rogue's future Eclipse Gate has not enough power for some reason.
It's the weaker one.
Yeah, it's the weaker one, which is very strange. I don't know why his would be weaker than present. If it never opened and never did anything with it, it's still weaker than present, which is very, very strange. Very strange. So I don't know what to think about that. I don't know. Something must have happened in Rogue's future Rogue's past to change events. And we were going back to this last discussion with future Lucy, when we were talking about her, my theories on her and all the events leading up to her being there, her changing events, that way. Well, we now know that Jalal was actually chasing Rogue when he bumped into Mast. So that's who changed the future there. Last discussion we said Lucy was the cause of that, but later we found out that it is Rogue that did it, because that was day 3, I believe. Yes, and Lucy wasn't there yet. She was there later when we saw her crying and her tear dropped, hit the ground, and Jalal noticed it and immediately ran to the stadium to go find her. So there's so much we can go off of theories of who caused what and everything like that, but it's all just all nonsense pretty much. It doesn't really tell us anything if I theorize about that kind of stuff. It's just about, I guess it's theorizing how they got there kind of stuff. It's not theorizing on what's gonna happen. It's theorizing just kind of backstory kind of bit, stuff that the show's not telling us, but it's fun to theorize just to see how they got there and what they did to change events or that kind of thing. But yeah. Anything to add to that? Did you guys find anything odd with Rogue or Lucy both?
The thing I'm interested about is why, I don't know, maybe the show already said it, but why Rogue in particular? Why was it him that came back? What happened? Why wasn't it Sting or, someone else maybe?
I wonder. He's got like a scar, doesn't he?
Yeah. He looks drastically different.
Yeah.
So.
Drastically, yeah. For sure, 7 years. Like,
yeah.
He's definitely a lot older. Also, one thing they never explained is how Rogue and Lucy both came back. Like, did they both use the same gate? The Eclipse Gate to teleport back? Like, it's never explained. Like, I mean, they would have had to because they both have that kind of magic essence on them that Jalal felt.
Yeah, it's like reminiscent of Zeref or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, we also found out that I think it was said, I'm pretty sure Jalal said it, that Eclipse is like another thing from the Book of Zeref, like Lullaby and...
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, Zeref always has his fingerprints on, like, everything.
The biggest weapons.
Yeah, the biggest weapons. When we first knew about the Colonel and him, like, being all ominous and talking about Zeref and everything, I thought that he was working with Zeref, and Zeref, like, is helping him build this thing or whatever. Which I guess in a way he is, because he made the book, and then now, the Colonel and the Princess and all them, they're making the gate from the book. So, I don't know. But I mean, they made it just to go back into time to kill him. So I mean, of course he's not going to be part of that. Which I don't know why. I don't know where he is now. We don't know where he is now. What's he doing? He's just off doing his thing. Probably scheme. Yeah, Zeref. Off scheming, doing stuff. Because he's been awakened.
Probably he's just crying over not to.
Well, remember that was like his passive self. That was his what he said with the Grimoire Heart Master when he killed him. That he's like been awakened. He's been in like this kind of tranquil kind of state for so long that his body is starting to turn on him, kind of thing. Like that's why he kept having those like kind of bursts of energy to kind of kill people. And things and animals and stuff. So he's been awakened now, so his power is at like full strength. Or no, he said something like his power was never diminished. Like he had his full power to begin with, but he had like kind of like a tranquil, kind of like a Jedi, like like meditating like kind of state. So it'll be interesting to see how powerful he is compared to everyone. I mean, of course he's powerful. He fought dragons probably in his past, and he defeated dragons probably. Again, that's very vague because didn't something say that Zeref made Acnologia at some point?
Well, the dragons gave Acnologia magic, and then Acnologia killed other dragons, and then became a dragon. So I don't really think
because I think at some point the show said that Zeref made Acnologia into a full dragon, like, kind of thing.
That's what the Colonel said, but I don't know.
Yeah, again, I'm with you there. Like,
it's the Colonel.
I forgot who said it. Yeah, it's the Colonel. So maybe not true. We don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see where he is and what plans he's been doing all this years. Like he's been like active for like 7+ years, so he's been fully awakened for 7+ years. So he's probably doing something evil, or just like doing his thing with making more books or something.
Yeah, it'd be funny if these past 7 years he's just writing books. That's all he's been doing.
Yeah.
I wonder, in the future or in the timeline where Lucy and Natsu were fighting dragons, sort of, what was Zeref doing then? Like.
That's true. Well, again, he's probably just off doing his own thing, and then the dragons attacked. So, I don't know. Maybe he's behind it. I don't know. It'll be interesting I still don't know fully what causes the dragon to come to the city, or what makes them active. Like where they're hiding, what happens to draw them to it. We know the eclipse is happening, like the actual physical eclipse, not the weapon. Like there actually is an eclipse happening over the moon currently. So that's probably how they activate the gate, is they have to wait for an actual eclipse to happen, which makes sense.
That's a long time they have to wait then.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be just interesting to see. I think at this point, what to expect next is probably the dragons are going to attack. That's the only thing I can predict, because like we're building up to it. They brought the gate out to the surface. The eclipse is happening. The games are over. That's when like everyone was predicting it's going to happen. So yeah, I'm predicting next is going to probably be dragons. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the very, very sad future Lucy's death.
Yeah. I was going to
skipped over that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess we did talk about it a little bit in the beginning, but yeah. It was very, very sad. Even though like it was the future Lucy, not the Lucy that we know. But again, at the same time, we do know this one. Like it's weird. Like what Happy was saying. Like
Lucy is Lucy.
Lucy is Lucy, right? Yeah. It was very sad.
Yeah,
the weird go on.
Go ahead.
Oh, so the weird thing that I thought about right now is just that when Lucy was holding Future Lucy, when Future Lucy got hit, and Lucy said, "Where's yours?" for the emblem.
Yeah.
Did Lucy not see that Future Lucy lost her right arm?
Well, see, that's the thing I was talking about before. With I don't think I wrote it down. Because this is subbed and dubbed said two different things. The dubbed said, "Where is yours?" Like your mark. The dubbed said, "Your arm," or something like that. She's like, "Your arm," kind of thing. So again, that's like one of the moments where like with Rogue, how I was talking about his two different versions of his eclipse is different. It's like one of those moments where like the dubbed kind of skips over stuff. Also, they didn't show the arm in any version, dubbed or subbed. So I mean, to begin with, they never showed it. But I guess the manga showed it. Did you know about that?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember. I actually didn't know that she lost her arm until like I saw it in the comments, like on your video. Like I actually legitimately did not know that she lost it because they hid it so well.
Yeah, under the cloak and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, Fairy Tail has like a kind of like just never shows body parts missing. With like Gildarts, when he came back from his Sentry quest, or I can't remember what it is. He opened his cloak to show Natsu he's been like kind of ripped in half in a way. His arm missing, his leg missing, kind of thing. The show never showed that. You just kind of like showed him opening the cloak to show Natsu. So it has like that kind of feel like constantly through it. It is. To be fair, they are like making it a kid show. Or they're making it kid friendly, I should say. Even though there's blood and everything, but their blood's not on their clothes. It's just like sprayed on the screen. Like when Lucy got hit, and the Kaga got cut last episodes. So yeah, it's interesting that they changed so much. It's not a lot, but skipping over the fact that Lucy missed an arm, like seriously, that's kind of a big deal. Like.
I wish, or not that I wish, but I wanted to give props to Happy because, or I guess just his voice actor in general, because I thought Happy's voice actor when Lucy died was like really, really good. Like, he destroyed me in that scene.
Also, you know what's really funny about the voice actor for Happy? The voice actor is a girl that does it. I know because there was a moment. I think it was a year ago or something like that. I think it was a year ago. Shoot, can't remember. Anyways, the voice of Happy and the voice of Barbara or Cosmos, both of them did. I think it was a death battle.
Really?
Do you remember that death battle with Yang and Tifa?
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
They had a live stream. I did my reaction to live stream. You might go back and see it. That they did a live stream with both voice actors. They had Barbara there voicing Yang, and they had the girl who voiced Tifa. They were going through her like kind of resume of what she's done, and she voiced Happy. And she talked in Happy's voice a couple times, like just here and there. And yeah, she's a very, very cool person. It's interesting. It's like Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents. Like the voice of Timmy, the kid, the boy, is a girl. Like it's so interesting that like you can change your voice so much that it's genderless. You don't know who it is. Like
I think Tara Strong does Timmy Turner's voice, if I'm not mistaken.
The name sounds familiar. Yeah.
Also, the voice actor of Natsu, Todd Haberkorn, he did recently a death battle. It was like Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah,
I wanted to see that. Yeah. Nice.
It was actually really good.
Sweet. So yeah, I think that's all that we or have to talk about, or not have to, but need to talk about. They skip over everything. Let's see, Jalal, Iron Dragon Mode, Hungry Wolf Knights, Gray and Juvia versus Luna and Shelia, Jira Loxus Olga, Erza Minerva, Sting versus Fairy Tail, and then Future Rogue and Future Lucy. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
I guess one thing I wanted to touch on was going back to the Lucy's death thing. That was a very touching moment. On like it's interesting to me, the voice actor for Lucy it's always weird like in different shows when you're talking to yourself pretty much. But future Lucy had a different voice pattern than past Lucy, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. Like future Lucy's, she's seen some shit. Like stuff went down in her life.
She sounds a lot like sadder.
She's defeated. She's just like that kind of voice pattern, and it's awesome to see that. She did an amazing job voicing future Lucy and present Lucy, in that conversation. And yeah, like you said, with Happy and everything, and then now Natsu is like crying pretty much, like ready to fight, like ready to kill somebody pretty much.
When he threw that punch at Rogue, you have to really listen for it, but like you kind of hear like the roar of a dragon behind it, like his punch. So like that tells you he is super pissed. Yeah,
it's gonna be hopefully an awesome fight. Like I always say, I want to see it, but at the same time we go back to like the Jura Loxus Olga fight. Like it's over quick. Like like it's over so quickly. You want to see more of it. So.
But I feel like well, I don't know, like main villains, if we can, because I'm pretty sure Rogue is the villain, right? Like we can consider him that, like, especially now since he killed.
At this point, like I don't know, because he's a good character in our, like in the present. But like I don't know how to feel. He comes back to kill Lucy because he knows what caused his future to be destroyed. He he wanted to kill Lucy because she closed the gate, which again goes back to that kind of vague sense of close, or did it never open, that kind of thing. Yeah, but
his reasoning is good for doing it, I guess. But
there could have been a lot more different ways to kind of go about that than just killing off Lucy. Which in a way worked out because he killed future Lucy and not present Lucy. So, and if future Lucy even said that, she says, if you die, I die with you, kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
She's protecting herself by killing herself. So yeah, I think that's all. I think that's all we had to talk about. Kind of just jumped around the episode a bunch. That's sort of what I'm sort of do now. Just kind of write down the big things, and then kind of move them around and everything. The bigger things are all pretty much last. I always talk about. So yeah. So next episode should be interesting. Like I said, my predictions are probably going to be dragon attacking, gate being activated, something. I mean, there might be like a downtime episode where like Fairy Tail's like celebrating.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They always have that. They always have that like towards the end of the arc.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So we have a week and a day, four videos on my part, to finish up the arc, the rest of the arc. So it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, should be fun. So tune in Monday, probably Monday. Hopefully we do it Monday discussion. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you Obay and Tommy for joining me. And I will see you guys. Like I said, hopefully Monday. If not Monday, then Wednesday. For the next 6 episodes, or possibly 3 if we do it Monday. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next episode. See ya.
Bye.